So, what legacy and what impact would you like to leave
Hmm.
with the leaders now that you are influencing or you are walking alongside with?
Yeah. The topic of legacy is an important one, I think, that every leader should be concerned about. Because really, if you delve into the definition of leadership, it includes not just leading in the literal sense, but it is how you're developing others. It is how you are enabling others to fulfill, to maximize their potential, right? And so when I think about legacy, I think about it in the sense that it's the impact that my life can make as a result of my purpose on earth. And I, as well as any other individual that's concerned about legacy, is only able to leave a legacy when they understand their purpose. And so, legacy and purpose, in my mind, go hand in hand. It's recognizing that each one of us has a destiny, has a purpose, has a specific assignment, so to speak. Whether you want to say here on earth, whether you want to say in a specific role in the city you're living in, your family, you can define it in so many different dimensions. But I'm a firm believer that we do all have specific callings, so to speak, and assignments that we need to embrace and live into. And so when you think about that in the broader context of what legacy is, for me, I've dedicated my career to building strong leaders. And I am thrilled when I look back at individuals that perhaps I mentored, early in their career that are now operating in their own right as strong leaders in the corporate space, or even individuals I met who were already leaders put into some of those critical positions, high impact roles I spoke about earlier, but are finding themselves challenged and stretched beyond what they've ever been before because perhaps it's the biggest role they've been in or the most critical that they've ever been in. And having the privilege of being able to coach as an HR leader, coach and guide them in here are your strengths, here are the gaps, and here's how you need to fill those gaps. It brings me immense pleasure, and I'm absolutely fulfilled when I look back and see those individuals that embrace the challenge and were able to make that impact. I think that every leader has to ask themselves three fundamental questions. Where am I going that will make my life matter? That's purpose. What am I doing now that will make my life matter? That's intentional action. And who am I developing that will make my life live on? That's legacy. Because we often think about legacy as something that's tangible, especially when you think about in family estates and, a legacy of something that is handed over from family to family. And those are typically tangible. And if it's tangible, it also means that it can be lost, right? But I think of legacy beyond that in the sense of what you leave within others, because that is intangible. And that can be passed on from generation to generation, right? And so it's important to number one, understand that you have a purpose, understand what that purpose is, be intentional about living it. And that's what enables one to leave a legacy.
If you just enjoyed that video, check out the longer version right here.